Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Tablet. So obviously this came out with a trio of devices, which would be the X1 Carbon and the X1 Yoga. Um, those are the Carbon is a laptop. The Yoga is a convertible style device. This is more of a detachable, kind of like a Surface, but not exactly, because the description on the Lenovo listings it says tablet, laptop, projector. You decide. So it comes with a Pico projector, which should be interesting, to say the least. But other specs that's included on Lenovo's website is an Intel Core M7V Pro processor. Now, I've never actually reviewed a device with an M7, so I'm excited about that. Um, well, let's get this thing open and see what it has to offer. It opens from this side. So obviously the box isn't quite as nice as some of the like the HPs that you've seen me unbox. That like the Spectre has a really nice box that it comes in. But hey, once you set up a new PC, you're not exactly looking at the box. So I assume that's why Lenovo hasn't invested in any of that. So we've got a setup guide here, which that will make for excellent kindling. Power cable, which the device should have USB Type-C, and yes, you can see that it does charge through USB Type-C, which I believe is Thunderbolt 3. Some silica gel here, little plastic bag that has, I don't currently know what that is, but we'll save it for later because that might end up being important. And here is the actual power cable. Right, which obviously plugs into that power brick. By the way, you can see on the power brick Windows Pro, so I guess this does come with Windows 10 Pro. The device comes with up to 16 gigs of RAM. I also don't know what this is. Up to 16 gigs of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of storage. We have a pen here, and the pen does use a battery. The battery, as you can see, is quadruple A. So I don't know if you've ever been shopping for quadruple A batteries, but if you want some advice, just go to Amazon. I don't know what's in here. Nothing. And in here, I assume also nothing. Alright, we're good to go. That's all for the box. The device is officially unboxed. But let's take the actual device out of the wrapper because it comes in one piece. Okay, so just before I open this up, I should say that this one actually has a Core M5. They sent over a spec sheet for the review unit that they sent over. It's going to have a Core M5, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and also, I really shouldn't call it an M5. The spec sheet on their website says M7, but it's actually the 7th generation i5Y series, which is the rebranded Core M5 for Kaby Lake, whatever it's the proper way to pronounce it is, because someone will yell at me for that. So we can see it's actually a pretty nice looking. You can see that it's a Surface Pro style keyboard here, where kind of magnetically attaches to the device itself. It's your ThinkPad style keys, which feel really nice just to press on. You can tell it does give a little bit, just like a type cover would on a Surface. And we also, over here, we have a built-in pen loop, which you can see. By the way, that's one thing about Surface. Obviously, Surface, you had to stick a pen loop to the keyboard, which I always found to be kind of annoying. You had to kind of pick the right placement for it. If you pick the wrong placement for it, you needed to get a new pen loop. And now the new Surface is magnetically attached, but they don't really stick well. So yeah, moving on from the pen loop. I can talk for a while about pen loops. Back here we have a sort of kickstand, which just comes open like that with a switch on the side, and then you can sort of bring it open here. And the keyboard is detachable. As you can see, we can just pop it off, and we have a tablet that stands up, and we can move it back a little bit. And there we go. I mean, we have a nice little display there where you could actually see the tripod in the reflection. And if we boot it up, hopefully they gave me power with this. They did. And there we go. We have the Lenovo boot screen that's standard on all Lenovo products, to be honest. I was actually reading the specs off of a yoga book, which is actually a pretty nice machine. I'm gonna say if you're into that kind of thing. Now you're gonna notice that you can't just push back on this kickstand. You can flip it closed if you want, but you can't. You can only push it back so far that it'll let you without pressing this switch. All right, so it only sort of gives a certain amount. All right, but we want to push it back a little bit. All right, and we can see it comes signed into a Lenovo account, which I'll be doing a reset and signing into my own account so I can download my own apps from the Windows Store. You know, I am trying to lay it to a point where it's kind of flush with the camera, but I can't really do that because if I go to a certain point, it just sort of falls flat, which that's worth being aware of if this is something that you're planning on drawing on. If you want to give it a sort of Surface Studio type of angle where you want to lean and draw on it, you're not really going to be able to lean and draw on it because it will fold flat on itself. All right, the screen is 12 inches and it's 1440p IPS LCD, so it looks great. Personally, I think 1440p is kind of a necessary resolution for a display. I'm looking forward to spending more time with this. It's a pretty awesome looking and feeling device. There's a lot of I compared it a lot to the Surface Pro because, and frankly, I hate it when people compare devices to the Surface Pro. It's like everything detachable is a Surface Pro clone or whatever, and it's just to me it really should. And every laptop with an aluminum unibody is a MacBook clone, right? So obviously, though, there are some similarities with the Surface. The keyboard cover here is very similar. The kickstand is very different. In the way that you really can't lean on it or it will just fall flat on itself. But the keyboard, it clips on like a type cover. It attaches magnetically to the device like a type cover. But the style of the keyboard itself is Lenovo style, which is pretty cool if you ask me. I'm a big fan of keyboards if you can't tell, but that's probably because I type for a living. All right, so that's going to be it for now. But one more thing. While we are comparing it to the Surface keyboard, you can see that these pins do not match up to a type cover. So if you can't mix and match in case you were wondering. One thing that I will say about this kickstand though is that it seems like something that would be a little bit more lappable, to borrow a phrase from Panos Panay, which meaning that it seems like something that will be easier to type on your lap. So I'm not sure if my review device has it, but I believe the ThinkPad X1 Tablet itself comes with cellular connectivity. So that would be awesome because I've been dying for a cellular laptop because really I just want connectivity everywhere I go, and I don't see why that's too much to ask for in 2017. And it really upsets me that the new Surface Pro isn't coming with cellular connectivity until later this year. But we got a camera over here, rear camera. Obviously, there's a camera on the front. There's a Windows Hello fingerprint reader that you can see over here. By the way, that's 2 megapixels in the front, 8 megapixels in the rear. There's also a flash, which, by the way, if you're out taking pictures with your tablet and you need a flash, get a smartphone. You know, there's also the presenter module and the productivity module. The productivity module will add 5 hours of battery life to the 10 that come with just the tablet itself. I don't believe that Lenovo sent me either of these modules, so I'm just going to be testing the device itself, unless I find these somewhere. But that's it for now. There's really nothing else to talk about, and I'll have a full review for you in hopefully a few weeks. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.